Yeah, the news came out the other day that Justin Herbert signed a new 5-year, $262 million extension. $218 million of that is guaranteed, and Earl tweeted it out, and it started a discussion. We did a little bit of this on Behind the Glass last night, but Deshaun Watson signed the fully guaranteed $230 million contract with the Browns. He is now the 7th highest paid quarterback in terms of overall money, still number 1 in terms of guaranteed money. We weren't sure if when Deshaun signed that contract, it would change the way quarterbacks in totality got contracts moving forward. Since then, it has not changed. It is still the only non-guaranteed. So with Joe Burrow on the horizon with a contract extension, with a guy like Patrick Mahomes, now the 9th highest paid quarterback in football, do you think we're ever will see another fully guaranteed quarterback contract again? Or do we just see the continued money go up without it being 100% fully guaranteed?
Well, I think you'll see it if the quarterback wants it. Patrick Mahomes can get any contract he wants. But it's not the fact that they won't give it to him. It's the fact that he wants to still have some money left over to make the roster around him better. So, any of these quarterbacks, and this is what people don't get, any of these quarterbacks, Justin Herbert could have said, I want it guaranteed. Joe Burrow could say, I want it guaranteed. Patrick Mahomes could say that. And just guess what? They would give it to him. For me, I think the question is, and when this deal happened, I asked myself, when are people going to shut up about that? We are going to see, sometimes people say stuff and they just get fixated on it because the national media just say it over and over and over and over and over. And you be like, yeah, 238, 230. And you're like, bro, but what does that really matter? Because if in the scheme of things, what quarterback has ever not got his money guaranteed? Name me one elite quarterback that got a bunch of money and then they cut him in his prime. It's never happened. Yeah. Quarterbacks don't get cut. They'll figure a way to trade you. But so when you look at the cap number, it's fully guaranteed. Well, listen, bro, all of them are basically fully guaranteed as a quarterback because once you get to that standpoint of you making that much money, you're good and you don't change teams. The Browns paid him a premium for someone opening up on the market. And a lot of times consumers don't understand this. If I'm in a pinch and I need a car today, and I got to go to work, does that mean I'm going to take time to go through 95 car lots? No. I don't have time to be looking for the best bargain because I'm in a pinch. So I may have to pay an extra 2%, 3%, 4% to get a car that I may not really love or I may not, but it's a necessity. Quarterback is a necessity. So when you look at 238, that number doesn't even really matter. I think that's been a scapegoat of the people, one or two things, right? You either don't like the allegations he has, so you use 238. You think you used to like Baker Mayfield, you kept rooting for him, you're still deep down to Baker, bro, so you don't like the 238. And then the third one is, I don't even know if I like Deshaun Watson. I don't know if his style of play is for me, all these different things. All these come into one. Now you can say, well, I don't like the Browns or I don't like Deshaun Watson because he's rocking the boat. No, you just either a Baker bro or you don't think you deserve the money or don't like the allegations. At the end of the day, that's the big to-do about the 238 because in the scheme of things, he's not even getting paid higher than the rest of these dudes.
I mean, literally, that's what I told McNuggets during the Behind the Glass podcast yesterday. It's not about the $230 million guaranteed, G. It's just simply people do not like Deshaun Watson.
Right, yep.
And I can understand the allegations, right? And I can understand that everything that comes with that. And everybody has a right to feel how they want to feel, right? If you want to judge this man, if you want to have this opinion of him, fine, whatever.
But just say it.
Just say it, right? It's not about the $230 million. It's about you not liking him. And like I said yesterday, some people have made up their mind that they're never going to like him, that no matter what happens, you can't change that. But I think when I look at Andrew Berry, Jimmy, and D. Haslam, I got to give them the respect. Why? Because there's an emotional side to everything that happened with Deshaun Watson, but then there's a professional business side of things. And once they knew that this man was not finna get indicted, he was not about to get charged, meaning he was not finna go to prison, then they had to go get their quarterback. 25-year-old elite quarterbacks do not come available all the time. And so, yeah, they understood the backlash that would come with the emotions tied to the situations that he was tied to. But when you look on the professional side of things, this is an organization that's been starved of a franchise quarterback since Bernie Kosar. And if you got an owner like Jimmy Haslam who's willing to do whatever it takes to win, then I think that's something that fans should applaud. That's something that you should appreciate, that you got an owner that's willing to foot a $230 million bill just for the opportunity to bring this city a championship. And I think if people change their perspective and change how they thought about it, maybe they would appreciate it more. Nobody's saying that you got to like Deshaun Watson, the man. You don't even know the man. So, of course, how you don't like somebody you don't know. But if you're a fan of the Cleveland Browns and you understand what his level of football play can bring to your organization and the opportunities that come with it, then you got to respect your owner going out there and do it. Now, to answer your question, do I think a quarterback will get more fully guaranteed money than Deshaun Watson? No. I think the days of quarterbacks really caring about the fully guaranteed point, it seems to have shifted. And it's funny because we wasn't having this conversation 2 years ago. It was all about how much money you can get guaranteed. But you look at it now and you see a lot of these guys, okay, how much could I rake in annually? And everybody got their own reason for how they want their contract structured a certain way. I think that Burrow might end up somewhere between 222, but I think that Trevor Lawrence is going to be the guy that's at the right place at the right time if he continues to ball out that might surpass that $230 million mark.
Couple things. One, it is the anomaly, and that's not a bad thing. Like, there's nothing wrong with being the oddity if it was still a good deal. I have no issue with them guaranteeing $230 million to Deshaun Watson if that's what it took to get Deshaun Watson. At the end of the day, the Browns have a franchise quarterback today. They did not have a franchise quarterback before Deshaun Watson. And you can make all the pleas and bargains you want about Baker Mayfield potentially being that guy, but I just don't believe it. I don't think Baker Mayfield was ever good enough to lead a team to a championship. I said it on the show last night. If we were starting a new YouTube channel, if we were going to branch off and we needed G. Bush, and G. Bush said, I will only work for you guys if you give me X, Y, and Z. And we knew we needed G. Bush to make that product exactly how we envisioned it. Guess what? G. Bush is getting X, Y, and Z. And I'm not thinking twice about it. So if they had to pay $230 million and they had to make it fully guaranteed in order to get Deshaun Watson to agree to come to Cleveland, who gives a crap? They got him. Like, who cares? And I'm never going to, in all sports, and Jaylen Brown happened yesterday, I may think it's a crazy contract, but good for you, Jaylen Brown. And for Deshaun Watson, good for you. And Justin Herbert, good for you. You are worth as much as someone's willing to pay you. If that's $304 million, that's $230. If it's $262, you are worth what the market says you can get. Go get the bag. And anyone who ever tells these dudes that they should take a pay cut or take less, ask yourself, would you do that?
It's
like, would you?
It's un-American. Like, I don't. Yeah, like we stand on cap. That's why I always joke. I said, man, y'all love to say capitalism, right? Y'all love to say free market. Y'all love to say no regulations. Y'all love that. That is, you stand on it. I don't want the government telling me what I can do. I don't want regulations. I don't want taxes. I want to be able to run my business and do what I want to. Okay, well, they running their business, doing what they want to. The thing is, why you mad that they're getting all this money? Because here's the thing. No one says this. You think they're rich. Think about how rich the people is that pay these guys. All of them.
Now, if it does not work like this. But in a world where taxpayer money funded the contracts, then I could see people getting upset about certain guys making a certain amount of money. But it's coming out of the Haslam's pocket. It's coming out of the Boston Celtics owner's pockets. It's coming out of the guy, and I don't know who owns the Chargers, but it's coming out of their pockets. Like, why do I care if they want to spend a certain amount of money to acquire a player that's going to help them win a championship, and they're never going to be considered winners or successes unless they have a damn championship? You have to spend to win. When is a team in any sport won a championship with a payroll in the bottom 10%?
My man upset because he's absolutely right. And we talk about this all the time. It pisses me off to see and hear other people say, well, this person is overpaid, that person underpaid. Like, I don't know where y'all come from, but you don't go around counting other people's pockets. You don't go around tapping on other people's pockets, worry about how much money they got and how they footing the bills that they have, especially if you're not the person that's paying that bill. If you're a fan, sit back and be a fan. Jimmy Haslam is not knocking on your door saying, hey, let me get $1 million to go towards this contract. Let this man do what he do. And it's up to Andrew Berry to manage the salary cap that's given to him. He's entrusted with that job, so let them do their job. When somebody says this person is not worth this or this person shouldn't be paid like that, I think it's highly disrespectful because take the title athlete off, right? Anybody in their profession, male, female, any race or creed, right? You want to be paid swell. And somebody paying you a high salary is a sign of respect of you and the work that you put out there. So when you out there saying this person shouldn't be paid this, check yourself. What if somebody at your job was telling you you shouldn't be making the money that you was making?
Even really quickly, like, always remember this. With big companies, y'all got to wake up a little bit. Like, when big companies fail and they're deemed too big to fail, the government takes your tax dollars and they bail them out. And then they take those profits from the bailout and tuck them in. So when the company does bad, they socialize the downside. But when the company does good, they privatize the revenue. So you're going to pay for them with higher taxes and your tax dollars. And at the same time, they're going to keep all of the profits that they have if they're doing good and never distribute those in benefits, distribute in higher wages, distribute it in better medical coverage, PTO, none of that. They just take it, buy back their stocks, and get $90 million bonuses. So here's the thing. Don't think you're doing these guys a favor because at the end of the day, we'll never probably see that level. But y'all got to always think, look, bro, if this is football, and they do it in real life, understand the way the economics really, truly work.
I want to make one more point, then we'll toss to Anthony for a fast read. I do think it's fair when you look at guys, especially in free agency, when they sign an exuberant contract, to be like, and I think it was a little bit of overpay. Like, I don't think the production from said players equal to X amount of money. And you can do it without being disrespectful because you're having a conversation. There's only so much funds to go around. But I also think from a team perspective, if you think that's the right guy to take you to the next level, then so be it. Like, I look at the Rockets, for example, and, like, I know basketball, football are different. They gave Dylan Brooks 4 years, $80 million. I don't think Dylan Brooks, the player, is a $20 million player, but good for him. You know what I'm saying? Like good for him for getting the bag. If the Rockets think that's the kind of player they needed to bring in, sure. I think you could got more bang for your buck elsewhere, but it's not because I don't like Dylan. Well, I don't particularly love Dylan Brooks. He might have been the bad example. Fred VanVleet, he got. Yeah. Do I think that 3 years, $140 million with Fred VanVleet is the smartest use of $140 million on the basketball court? No. Is that a knock on Fred VanVleet? No. So I just want to put. I think sometimes when we look at contracts, it's okay to be like, I think that may have been a little bit of an overpay, but
you can critique that with anybody. I'm gonna say just about anybody except for Patrick Mahomes, right? We talked about this yesterday. Justin Herbert got $218 million fully guaranteed.
Yep.
You can argue that he's never won a playoff game, that his team has never won a division championship, but you can also look on the flip side of it. In his first 3 years in the NFL, he's in the top three.
Division with Patrick
you know what
Mahomes,
I mean?
Yeah.
While playing in the same division with Patrick Mahomes, he's in the top three in damn near every passing category. And so, everybody is entitled to their opinion. But for me, you know how I am. There's a human aspect to everything I say when we talk in sports. You don't want nobody counting your pockets. Stop counting other people's pockets.
I want everyone to get paid. I want to get paid myself. I just may disagree sometimes with the allocation.
I said, I don't know if it's how I grew up, whatever the case, man, but I don't talk about another man's money. I keep my eyes on my own paper.
Wait till you're on the panel for free agency, and then we'll see how it goes. Anthony,